Next, we'll see two teams face off for just the 8th time in a rematch of Super Bowl 38. It's the Patriots and Panthers, and the action heads your way on EA Sports.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault, and that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the New England Patriots. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther Ball club as they interplay here. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 2015 NFL Most Valuable Player in his 11th season in the league, 32-year-old Cam Newton.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going at the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
On first down, it's Newton. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. Good play there on the first play of the game. For Cam Newton, the arm strength, maybe not what it was circa his MVP season of 2015, but he uncorks a big one there.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story. That's a full 67 yards in the air. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. A shotgun snap for Newton. Flush to his right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. And this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really haven't. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense ready for their first drive, led by Mac Jones, the Heisman Trophy finalist and 15th overall selection this spring from Alabama.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. A look at the numbers for Harrison last week's game. 11 carries, 57 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Jones. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he was able to get in there and make a great play.
Now a first down carry for Harris. Gets around him, shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
And that's a run characteristic of Damian Harris. When he touches it, he gets not what's just blocked, but he gets a few more yards as well. He's been dinged up his first 2 years with the Patriots, only 10 starts a year ago. But you have to believe that this coaching staff thinks that he's capable of bigger and better things.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Now Harris. And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork, right?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Damian Harris, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Now Abdullah, the return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Let's go!
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. 5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple of things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Well, this defense for the Patriots, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct. Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive, he comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Now Newton on first down. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Newton. He's going to look deep for more. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Throwing again is Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Joejuan Williams. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
2 seconds to go, first quarter. Throwing, Jones. That swung out wide to Harris. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Yeah, great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Now a give, running left is Harris, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now a pass here, caught by Hunter Henry, and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Harris going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Harris. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Damian Harris, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Patriots have taken the lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Now Folk for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was Damian Harris who finished things off with a touchdown run. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that speed.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Damian Harris to the Patriot offense, ready to take over again. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized for the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing third down. Back to throw. Jones. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And Folk's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
Well, normally you see three tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or two towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
The New England Patriots were seeking a good edge rusher, and Matt Judon is now providing that, having come over from Baltimore. 30.5 sacks the last 4 years there. They expect him to get to the quarterback frequently in Patriots red and blue.
And it is incomplete. I had a defender running right with him, and now it's third down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out for Anderson, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Gunnar Olszewski deep for New England. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Patriots take over. Damian Harris and the Patriot offense ready to take over again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Jones throw pulled in by Aguilar. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Throwing on 1st down, Jones. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones over the middle, complete. It's Henry.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
He gets it complete to Harris. That catch good for only a couple. 2nd and 8.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd gone to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Folk's kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
4 seconds, all that remain here in this 1st half as the kick gets away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. final shot before the break. Newton. He's going to look deep for more. And that is incomplete. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll kick things off down in the Bayou. NFC South matchup between Atlanta and New Orleans. And it's the Saints who are out in front as that inches closer to halftime. Alvin Kamara with 2 touchdowns thus far. From there, we head to the Big Apple, more specifically to MetLife Stadium in Jersey to check on the Giants. And they trail in that one to the visiting Las Vegas Raiders. Deshaun Jackson, a touchdown reception. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last. We head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they lead the visiting Denver Broncos at the half. Ezekiel Elliott, a touchdown run in that first half. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for New England. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half. Each team making their final preparations for this second half. We're about ready too, as we'll send you back up to Charlotte and rejoin Brandon and Charles at Bank of America Stadium.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Patriots to take over. They were victorious over the Chargers last week, and now they work with a lead again here as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Jones. Throw left side, got to be taken in by Harris.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Newton, meanwhile, here connecting with McCaffrey. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Again, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Devin McCourty picks it off. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
On 1st down, it's Harris, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know? Maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Buying time to his left. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Steps away to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Newton delivers this one to McCaffrey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Newton to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And the Patriots are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And we're back now in Charlotte. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And for a second straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Back to throw. Jones. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. Second and 10. They hand this off to Harris. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he's trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now it's Newton. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Newton. Steps away. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
Flush to his right. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a dump off here complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Newton being chased out left. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Tommy Tremble with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
It doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And this is secured by the Patriots. Damian Harris of the Patriot offense ready to take over again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Jones. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Meanwhile, Jones' throw there complete to Myers. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drop.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6. Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Newton. Flushed out right. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Throwing is Newton. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Christian Barmore in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Here's Newton. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the fourth quarter. They got the dramatic score to tie the game here late fourth quarter. Now all eyes resting on the foot of one man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Your brother called me before the game. That's his guy in fantasy. He needs this one badly.
So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown and the ever-critical extra point. So it is a 1-point lead here in the final minute of action. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So now Jones and the Patriots down 21-20, 27 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Jones. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
It got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play there for the Patriots.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
This for all the marbles. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the fourth quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the fourth quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for the Panthers, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns.